Shalom. This is the brother Danya Allah coming back again with another lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect brothers and sisters, that believe in this word and that fear in the Heavenly Father and His Son. And I just wanted to do a quick video. Lord will this will be edifying to what other brother needs it. For those brothers that are teaching, just different language resources, particularly for brothers who have the gift of learning languages, or have maybe just recently found out that that is their gift of learning language, of knowing other tongues. All right, they're just different resources because we have these different things in different portions. Especially for those brothers who have a smaller portion of being able to speak in another language and understand. I just want to share some resources, and part of what inspired me really to do this video is recent videos I've watched from the elder Kazak, getting into his Santa Biblia that was given to him, and wanting to learn more Spanish. So this is for him and whatever other brother needs to hear this. But through the Spirit, I wanted to get this. I'm gonna get a precept first, and I'm gonna go through these different resources that I like to use, and I'll actually be Lord will using more to help me increase my gift of speaking in tongues. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse. I'll start at verse 6. It says, "And there are diversities." Salakia. Verse 4, it says, "Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit, and there are differences of administration, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh all in all." So every brother that comes into the truth, they have a different role. All right. It even brothers and sisters, because a sister could be a help, mainly, but for operating and prophesying and teaching the word, every brother has his own gift, so to speak, his own way that he can operate in the Spirit to benefit the whole body. So this is what that's talking about. It says, "But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, another gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits," and here's the point, "to another diverse," meaning different kinds, "diverse kinds of tongues," diverse kinds of languages, ways. The word language goes into la lengua, which means or lengua is which means tongue. In Spanish, the word for tongue is la lengua, right, which is tongue. So different ways to create sounds with your tongue to communicate with different peoples, man. So it says to another the interpretation of tongues. So being able to speak tongues and then being able to hear what somebody is saying in another tongue and interpret it into a language that can be understood. Okay. So and there's different things you can do to increase that gift. One of the main things you can do is to pray to the Most High. You know, you to pray to the Most High to increase you, and the Lord to start revealing all these different ways, right? Or even just put the Spirit on you to do more or teach more, learn more within that language. All right, that language that is outside of your so-called native tongue that you grew up speaking, right? So I just want to provide some, resources that you can use. Some of these require money. If you got a little bit of money, it could help you a lot. If you got, and I got, other resources where if you have, even more money to commit to growing that gift, different things, and I'm not advertising any of this stuff. I'm just, putting these forth as a resource. So the first one here, I have something that I discovered not too long ago, maybe this year or the beginning of last year, or the ending of last year. It's called UTalk. It says learn 150 plus languages. Now, we can read some of the description here for this. And this is an application on Google. I believe they also have it for Apple also. Yeah, Apple App Store. So it says here about this app. UTalk gives you the confidence to start speaking. So if you're in the beginning and you're still getting your basic understanding of learning your particular language, this can help you. Getting the basic phrases, the basic words that are typically used in everyday conversation. This can help you, right? It says UTalk gives you the confidence to start speaking over 150 languages instantly, and this is true. This is true. I've experienced it. It says learn languages fast. UTalk gets results because every word you hear is in your new language, and you speak, listen, and understand from day one. Right now, maybe I'll open this and show you how you speak, listen, and understand from day one. Because the way that it's set up in the way that a baby learns how to speak in the language of their parents, or how we grew up, we couldn't speak. Before we actually started to speak, we would listen, and then we would practice. We started talking, then we would practice using our tongue and our teeth and our lips and our mouth to make these different sounds. So it's the same way that a baby would learn how to speak the language of his mother or his father. Same way we learn how to speak English. I'm speaking English for brothers here in America that's speaking English, right? It says the app has a huge range of 150 plus languages, and with free starter words in each. You can try it risk-free, full score marks in the games, and can also unlock an extra topic in your language for free. So you have a free version. Now the version I use, I pay $10 a month for it, which is not a lot of money, but I get access to all these languages. For $10 a month, I get access to 150 plus languages. Not to say I'm gonna speak all of those, but I have access to it. Right? It says free. It says the app has a huge range of 150 plus languages and free starter words in each. You can try it risk-free, score 4 marks in the games, and you can also unlock an extra topic in your language for free. So basically, if you try the free version and you demonstrate through the different tests, and the tests are actually fun. You demonstrate through the different tests to see if you're actually learning it. When you get perfect scores on them, they actually give you points, and you can unlock another topic. So I don't know how far that goes, but because I pay for it, but you can try it and see if you like it, see if it'll work for you, and then this could help you in your walk, Lord will. It says you talk helps you speak a new language for 3 reasons. Oh, it's going to explain it, break it down. It says learn from the locals. We record native speakers. So this is a thing where you have to listen and you have to speak. So every time they play it, you play it over and over again. And really, to keep it kind of simple, you mimic what you hear. So you mimic what you hear to the best of your ability. You can play it regular speed. You can slow it down. You mimic what you hear. It says learn from the locals. We record native speakers so you can hear every word pronounced clearly. We then get you to mimic the pronunciation and to compare your intonation with theirs. Right? So you can even record your voice to see if you sound like what they're saying. Now that's great, because if you hear the native speaker and then you record your voice on what you trying to mimic them, if you can see something's off, if there's a difference and something's off in the way that you're saying it, you'll notice it immediately, and be able to address it. It says pronunciation, compare your intonation with theirs. Practice until you get it right. You can even slow the audio down if it's too fast. I just said that. It says crammed full of words. Use everyday words and phrases, topics like food and drink. Take around 2 or 3 hours to complete, but you can dip in for just 5 minutes at a time or longer with 60 plus topics. That's a total of 180 hours of learning. Okay, so it says, topics like that. So basically you can learn these different topics faster, but just by doing a little bit every day. You can do 10 minutes a day, and you'll come back the next day and you'll remember all the words that you did before, right? And the way that they have it set up is you have to speak and you have to listen and you have to identify the words through pictures, right? Because when we learn how to speak English, we didn't learn how to write, right? Everything was in a something that you would see with your eyes, say you're a baby, you're learning how to speak. There's an apple on the table. You're pointing to the apple, but you don't even know what that word is. Then your mom says apple. She says it over and over again. Apple, shows you the apple, right? And then eventually you learn how to say apple by practicing, listening over and over until you learn how to say apple, right? Everything was a visual / auditorial thing with your ears. There was a physical object for you to connect to with those sounds. So it's the same thing in this app. 3, and I'm gonna move on to the next one. I might show a little bit and then move on to the next one. It says keep you motivated. Check your scores on progress bars as you move through 5 progressive difficulty games. Now they're games, which is why I said it's fun. One of the games where you have to recall the word or phrase that you hear with connect it to the correct picture. It actually has you on edge, and then it makes you remember. So it's a really good app for brothers who are looking to improve their gift. And I'm gonna scroll through it a little bit. I'm not advertising this. I'm not an affiliate or nothing like that. It says to get full marks, you have to know the words as well as your own. Know the words as well as your own language. right? So it says, who is it for? Tried and trusted way to learn a new language has been developed over 30 years. Is perfect for beginners. But because of the wide-ranging language, it is invaluable for intermediates looking to fill in gaps in the vocabulary and pronunciation. Right, so this is great for getting your basic foundation and understanding. Now, I'm gonna actually get some other resources that I use uh, that will help you get to the next level after you've gotten basic understanding. Let me see here. So if I open this, it's called UTalk. Now I originally got this because a particular language that I'm learning, it's not there. Particular language that I'm learning is not a it's not a conventional language that you would learn in school. You have French, the Romantic languages, French and Portuguese and Spanish and Italian, right? Or Chinese. It's not a mainstream language. So I actually had to search for this one. So the language I'm referring to is it's a language from the Congo called Lingala. So as you can see here, they have all these different topics that I have access to. Because I pay only $10 a month, I get access to all these different topics, right? And how it's set up is like you have here, free starter words. So you have these 6 sections. You have the phrase practice where you go through the phrases, you practice them. Then you have like a word matching game, and then a speaking game, and then a hard game, and then a memory game, and then memorizing the words, and then recalling them. Now, what they do, just real quick, all right, yeah, Salakia. We're actually not gonna get that because it won't allow me to even record. But you can check this out. It's on Google. It's on the App Store. It's called UTalk. Great for if you're beginning to learn a language and you know, great for practice, right? So, getting rid of that. Now, we also have something called, it's another program I use, and a guy I follow here. He's actually from here in Pennsylvania. This guy Idausa Ness, which is what they call a polyglot. He speaks many different languages. I think he speaks like 9 languages now. But he has a channel too. You can check out his channel. But his way of learning languages, the method that he uses, could also help you also with any language that you're using. Learning by ear or learning by music. Okay. He has programs on there. They're a little, pricey, but for the most part, he provides those different programs for a lifetime. You get to have them for a lifetime, and I have this one for Spanish. So if the Elder Kazak sees this, of course, whatever other brother, you could check this out. He has different Spanish programs and stuff that help in terms of speaking, right? Now, also in terms of UTalk. Now, going into this specifically, Salaka, before I get into that, there's another program also that you can use. Now, this is. Oh, let me not go in there. Sorry, Salakia. So as you can see, I'm not going to go into it. It's going to show my government name and all that. But as you can see on here, it's called italki. It's another app, in the App Store on, Android and iPhone. You can create an account and you can actually practice, once you have a foundation or comfortable or, certain methods, you just start speaking from day one, right? You actually have personal tutors or people you can speak with on italki. This is another great app that you can use in order to learn a language. Now certain languages they might not have, depending, but you could definitely use it for Spanish, French, Italian, Chinese, Japanese, a lot of the mainstream languages, to help you increase your gift, Now, this one right here is more specifically for Spanish, especially if you're reading the Santa Biblia and you're trying to understand certain things, or maybe you reading a Spanish article and doing a video on that, for like translation to kind of help you with the gaps in your understanding. It's a great. What just happened? I use this Spanish dictionary, which they have an app for that too. This is great for basically. This is a great dictionary. So if I were to say, let me see. If I were to put a word in here like watch, okay, this will help you understand the context of what you're trying to understand and what you're reading. So this is why this is good, because it gives you the different verbs here. So I put watch, okay. It says to see, ver. So this like seeing with your eyes, ver, mirar, observar. So to see something. And then it says to keep under observation, because sometimes, it'll be hard to tell. You would have to read the context, but to understand, like, okay, or you might be trying to say something. I find myself doing this in the middle of videos. You might be trying to say something, but you don't know exactly which word to use because, different words for very specific meanings in Spanish. So it says to keep under observation. They got vigilar, to be mindful of, vigilar, or tener cuidado con, to take care of, right? So it gets real specific for the exact word that you're looking to say or looking to translate. So that's a resource also for brothers who are learning Spanish. Another one, once you become, start to become get the flow of Spanish, is we have here something called, and I'll put this in the description box, but you have a un diccionario etimológico. So it's an etymology dictionary, right, in Spanish. So different words you might want to get in Spanish, you want to get the etymology, you can get it here, in this etymology dictionary. Like I said, just different resources, language resources for doing this work in another language. So let's see, type an example here. Like we can get an example for, let's see here. Let's get let's get sacerdote. right? So I got the word sacerdote, which is you know, a priest. And it'll actually give you the breakdown. You know, it's in Spanish, of course, but it'll actually give you the breakdown. As you can see here, if I highlight that, it says it's just like that regular etymology dictionary in English. It says viene del latín, as you can see right there, Latin, sacerdos. You know, it says coming from the Latin. And it'll actually break it down, right? It says formado de sacer, which means to make sacred, sacra, sagrado, sacred, right? Yeah, so there you go. You know, just wanted to give these different resources. Lord will you edify, and I'm gonna say shalom.